Well, good morning. It is, oh, and here she comes. That's a good thing. Good morning. So, I titled today's In the Zone as, back in the groove, but I don't think we are. Whoops.
How was your Thanksgiving, Battle?
It was great. It was great. We had, a house full that in my new, this is the first set of holidays in my house because I've
Mm.
only been here for 10 months. I got most of the lights in the yard and I started baking cookies already. So it was a
Oh,
great.
wow.
How was yours? I know you traveled.
I did. We went to just south of Atlanta to spend the holidays with Nana. And we have a cousin that lives here. So she drove up with us and then stayed a couple extra days. But we brought back my in-laws who were visiting from Phoenix. So we went from being a guest to being hostesses.
Nice. Are your in-laws still there visiting?
Yeah, they'll be here through the week as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. We're gonna go bike riding probably at Fort DeSoto today.
Oh, that's so nice.
We're looking for a pickleball court to go play some pickleball. Oh, yesterday we continued our shop small Saturday and we went to Shopapalooza here in downtown St. Pete, which was really cool.
Oh, I'll bet. I'll bet.
It has really, really grown a lot. And got some more Christmas decorations. Last year I transitioned my Christmas decorations from when my grandmother passed away, she had a couple of themed trees. And I got the blue and silver tree. So I've had blue and silver, used to do snowmen, to kind of complement that. And then
Right.
last year I was like, I think I'm gonna go coastal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I've been looking for coastal type decorations and I got some yesterday.
Oh, nice. I'm sure.
Handmade, they're just nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's all starting the holidays.
Yeah, yes, I know. I know. It's I still just can't even believe that we're almost into December because this year, like the last two or three, just have flown by.
I know.
Uh, yeah, I saw on Facebook some of our, at least one of our, but I saw several ads, at least one of our veteran alumni, Michael, was doing his thing at the Brandon, oh no, he was at Ybor, I guess.
Mhm.
Like he has
Actually,
every
I think
set
he
of
was
them.
at both of them this week.
Was he? Did he go to
Brandon and
Brandon? Yeah.
Ybor, yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw several discounts from other of our veteran alumni businesses that they were offering for the Black Friday sale days. And today is Cyber Monday, so I suspect that there'll be more because some of them do have online sales or online activities.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to find time to do a Cyber Monday post and see if people will drop their links. I'm drinking protein shake. This is not wine in my wine glass.
Thanks for clarifying.
You can't really see it, but it's got like a turtle etched in it. This is
Oh,
also,
wow.
yeah, it's really nice. And at the bottom, it's blue and it just kind of, what's that, the ombre look? And
Yes.
it's up to clear.
Very
Um,
cool.
but it's the couple, it's a married couple. They are first responder and military veterans. And I don't like to drink out of plastic, so I pour my
Yeah, I
protein
don't
shake in
either.
any glass that's available.
I don't know at what age I made that transition from liking a red Solo cup to I just want glass. I think that was the change of middle age when you went from red Solo cup to glass. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's so funny. So I wanted to, well, first, again, we're reiterating, we are taking applications for the cohorts that start in January.
Yes.
Again, we're taking applications to start for the cohorts that start in January. So get your applications in. But I am a huge fan and follower of Mike Stedman, as we all know. Mike Stedman is the founder of Ironbound Boxing, Ironbound Media, and Dog Fight marketing, anyways, dog something marketing. And he is the voice of Bunker Labs.
Right.
And he is the voice of their transition podcast. And I listened to this one. I want everybody to like let this sink in. Annual planning, the key to building momentum for the new year. And so I'm wondering what people are doing as entrepreneurs to start planning for January 2023.
Right.
You know, as you know, and I think I mentioned this, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, Jeremy and I, every year we try to get away as our company offsite and plan for the year and plan for, we also do life planning at that time. So I'm going to drop this link, have everybody listen to it, and then hopefully people will share what they're doing to get themselves ready for 2023.
Would Mike be interested in after you've issued this assignment, this reading assignment or listening assignment, would Mike, maybe we could get Mike to come on and talk about that?
Yeah, I will. I'll ask him. Him and actually Dean Bunshu, also former Bunker Labs guy, they are business coaches for the Lions Pride right now. And they both have been doing workshops for them for planning for strategy planning for 2023. So I don't know, maybe we can get both on.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. You know, we've talked since the beginning of October, the beginning of the fourth quarter, we've been mentioning here on Mondays, and we mention it in our classes every week, that it is not too early to start planning for the next year. And you need to be, because a lot of preparation, there's a ramp, you know, you can't just turn it off and go, tomorrow I'm not eating any chocolate, right? You have to have like a plan. And I just hate these little cliches, but this one is so true, that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And you don't have to go overboard, you know. It's not like on January 1st, you got to start walking 10 miles on the treadmill. But I'm full of them today, aren't I? You have to start thinking about what you're going to do, because it might take, and almost always does take, a little bit of preparation. So it's never too late to start. It's not like, oh my gosh, in a couple of days, it's going to be December 1st and I didn't do anything. Stop procrastinating and just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
You will feel so much better when you do.
Yes, it is. Once we got done with that, first of all, good morning, Gaston. We'd love to hear what you're doing to plan for 2023. But when we came back from the cabin in the river in Bushnell, so that it was like super quiet and dark at night, we felt so light. I don't know how to explain it, that we had a plan, we had strategy, and you know, we have our annual plan, quarterly plan, monthly plan, weekly, daily, hourly. I mean, we've got it down.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, as busy as we are, and if we want to maintain Luminary as a two-man team, you know, we really have to be hyper focused on organization, which I'm not good.
Did this have any impact on what you're doing?
Well, yes. I mean, this is something we've been doing, but we are implementing a lot of Atomic Habit lessons from that book. Totally, we are a fan of that. Before I even got done with the first chapter, I had ordered Jeremy his own so he could read it. And then he was so motivated, he ordered the journals.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
Yeah, we haven't had the time to fill those out, but we did get the journals.
Yeah.
I'm not normally really good at doing. Oh, actually, this is how not good I am. I haven't even opened it, and I bet you he hasn't either. And it is just a bunch of blank pages.
Okay, so I'm gonna make you feel better, because I have one and I have the same damn problem.
I'm like, so I thought it was gonna be like, oh.
Get off the pot.
I thought it was gonna be like instructions or, like how some notebooks will be like your daily goals and affirmation. This is just a bunch of blank pages. Oh, wait. All right, it has instructions. Quick start guide.
That's a good place
Oh,
to
okay.
start.
It has instructions, so I just need to get through the instructions and I just gotta make this shit happen.
I gotta even find my workbook because mine is different than yours, and I thought I did open it. And I thought it had like a format to follow based on the book, but
Oh, funny.
it's just my goal. I have no resolutions, but my goal for 23 is that I am not even organized, just more intentional,
Yeah.
it's so easy to be reactive all the time. And you get caught up into this treadmill of reactivity, and you can't get out of it until you finally just plant your feet and say, this is how I'm going to function. And everything around me is going to have to adapt to that. That sounds like a really inflexible position to take.
Yeah.
But if you don't get off of the treadmill, you are never going to stop running just ahead of the train. So you have to, excuse me, so you have to take control. And that's what I liked about this Atomic Habits book, was that it gave you, in the event that you needed it, and you don't, but sometimes we have to hear it, if you needed permission to make these things happen and make yourself a priority so that you can get done what you need to be done, then I think the rest of it just falls into place.
I totally agree. I think, and it gives you, I think if you're, good morning, Natasha. I'm trying to multitask this morning. It's not working very well. I think that if you have a plan, it allows you to be more agile, in the sense that if something comes up that derails what the strategy is, you're able to react differently. Oh, you have another good zinger?
Oh, I know he's not watching because he never is, but the strategy maps that Russ teaches in our Activate program, where you create those milestones to get from where you are to where you want to be. Why am I not using that for instead of a journal or something like why, or in addition to augment something visual to put in front of my desk, like, this is what I'm going to do, and this is where I want to be by the end, let's say for the end of 2023. And all the things that I have to do to make that happen. Russ is going to be so happy. I am creating one today. I'm accountable. You can ask me next Monday. I'll even show you what it is and that I did it. But that's the problem with planning ahead. And yes, I think what you and Jeremy have done for the last few years is just incredible. And it's benefited you in the long run because your business has gotten to where it is, and your personal lives, because of those plans that you've made every year for the last couple of years. But shit.
Well, I will.
My train derailed, so you got to go.
Okay, well, I will put the train back on the track.
Okay.
Because mission mapping is what we actually use.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we started that back. Russ introduced it in 2019, and that was the first year we implemented it, and we have been implementing it ever since. We use that and some portions of EOS. That for us, that's too structured. We can't operate in that tight. But yeah, I mean, all these lessons learned from systems that we have been introduced to. But mission mapping is the foundation of everything that we do. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
We're pretty excited. I mean, we have, look, I didn't change my name. I'm still Rosie this morning.
It could be worse. And I won't name the ones that you could be that would be worse.
I don't mind being Rosie. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely the foundation, and it's we have our in state, our goal in mind for Luminary, and we're working towards that.
That's so awesome.
I'm going to be 50 in January. I don't have a lot more time to be messing with this working.
Oh, pshaw. Oh, pshaw. I will confess that this morning I looked up how old do I have to be to collect Medicare? And I have 3 years and 2 months.
So funny. So Action Zone, we have lots of big things on the horizon. We can't talk about too much, but we need lots of wishes and prayers and positive thoughts for Action Zone.
Yep.
We're really
Yeah, the most important right now, the closest, what do they call that? The alligator closest to the boat
Mhm.
is tomorrow night at the ECC. Kashima Garcia and Jenny Sutter will be giving a presentation on business acquisitions and franchises.
That's great.
And I want to say this about that workshop, because we've done this before. We've
Mhm.
never combined them. This is the first time they've been combined, but they're the same kind of topic, because a lot of people, and veterans in particular, do opt to acquire a business or go into a franchise as their entry into entrepreneurship and business ownership, because everything is laid out for them. You know, they follow somebody else's business model and their processes and systems, and that gives them a lot of good experience, a lot of good knowledge that they wouldn't be able to get in the same amount of time. August Davis is a great example of this. He wanted to open his catering business and ultimately a food truck at that time. And he knew how to cook. He was a great chef, and presentation and putting on the events was not the challenge. The challenge was understanding the back of office, the back of the house. You know, the challenge was, how do you run a restaurant? And while what he got for business modeling education was a great start, it wasn't until he took a position in another restaurant company that gave him an opportunity to learn how to do that back of house stuff, how it all works together. It's not just the chef preparing the food and serving it, it's so much more. So the business acquisition and franchising workshop gives you insights into primarily what you do when you want to buy a business and what you want to look for when you're trying to buy a franchise. But there's something else really important about this workshop that I think people don't get. And this is why it's open to everybody and anybody. If you have a business and you're thinking about being acquired in the future, or you're thinking about offering franchising, then this workshop gives you the insights that from the opposite side, so that you can plan and structure your business to be acquired or to start franchising. So it's on both sides of that equation. It's for people who might be interested in acquiring a business or franchising, and it's for people who have businesses that might be looking at those options in the future.
Yes, it's going to be a great workshop. Kashima Garcia, our executive director, has a lot of experience with that. And of course, Jenny is the franchise queen of Florida.
Yep. Yep. I refer people to her often when they say they're looking at franchises, because she knows it all. She knows, and she's got great connections. So yeah, that's the first thing coming up. And then of course, did we mention that we're still collecting applications, registrations for the next cohort? Next cohort starts on January 14th. It is in person in Tampa. You need to be there or be square. We could have anybody from our previous cohorts that wants to comment in the chat about what this program meant to them and how it has helped them. Then you have to, please comment, because there are people who think, oh, I don't need that, or no, I don't know what I'm doing yet, so I don't even know what direction to go in. Just come, just be there. You will find that what you learn, even if you don't have a solid idea, will give you more information so that you can start building the idea that you ultimately go home with.
Yeah, it's definitely a good opportunity to get your entrepreneurial juices flowing, or your entrepreneurial ideas down on paper.
And we have such a good time. I mean, it's not just sitting in a lecture class. First of all, you get us and Russ and Jeremy and any guests that we invite to talk, but you have to, you just have to experience it. We get high on it every time we get a new cohort, and that carries through. So if you need a challenge, If you
Oh,
need
go
a
ahead.
challenge, we say each cohort, this is the best cohort ever. So if you want to be part of the next best cohort ever.
Yeah, put your application in. I had the honor, it was me, Kashima, and Jeremy who finished out the last in-person cohort. We did their final business model canvas pitches. And everybody was just like, oh, this is it. Like, you know, so even the cohorts, they're sad whenever it's over.
Oh yeah, I usually cry, if not in front of them as soon
Mhm.
as they all leave. It's
Yeah,
like,
well, I just tell them they can apply again, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
And then, of course, we have Incubate cohort, which is much, Activate is application based, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily competitive to get in. You just have to show up, really, you know, show
yeah,
up.
that's true.
But
With or without
Incubate,
an idea.
yeah, with or without an idea. Incubate, though, is very competitive because we only take 6 to 8 applications. The intent is 6, but we give ourselves a little bit of gray space in case we have 2 other amazing founders and companies that, you know, we don't want to have them wait until the next cohort.
Right,
But that's just been, I mean, we have people from pre-revenue, which we don't normally accept pre-revenue, but it just happens to be this particular concept needs what we offer in Incubate at
right.
the revenue stage to companies that are generating millions of dollars. So it's, but no one's left out. It, you know, Jeremy's master facilitation skills and his ability to see the issue through the entrepreneur's just description of what they're going through, it's just
Right.
been phenomenal. Been
Yeah.
so phenomenal. As a matter of fact, we're going to have next Monday an Incubate cohort member as our guest, Damon.
Nice.
Yeah, Damon.
Love
He
Damon.
really it's amazing because that cohort only meets every other week, and it's much shorter of a time span. 3 months, every other week for 3 months. But man, to see how much he has grown as a founder just from that experience, really exciting. Can't wait to have him on next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And for those who don't know Damon, he has, I'm not going to tell too much about his business because I want him to share his journey, but he is a trainer and a nutritionist. Of course, perfect time of year. And he has some holiday specials that he will be sharing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you know, we're of Iron Sharpens Iron Fitness, and it's been great. We would have gained or we would have eaten the double amount of food that we ate normally that we ate this year last year. So if anything, it's going to keep the scale steady throughout the day.
Then I won't send you any of the cookies I made yesterday, okay?
Well, what we've learned to do in this experience is be very to calculate and be very intentional on the times when we are going to have cookies or wine or whatever.
Oh, good. Then I failed to mention that I have popcorn on the schedule for this week as well. Actually, you know, anybody that knows me isn't surprised by this, but I only started making cookies this early because I'm putting them on that Ubake site. So I'm selling trays of cookies and crack and biscotti and all of the baking things. I so miss having my food business that I found different ways to kind of sneak it back in there.
To feed people. Rosie loves to feed people.
I do. There's just so much joy in feeding people.
Yes, I do too. I love to entertain. I don't cook well enough to be able to sell it like you do. But when people come over,
you might be surprised. Some of those things that you've made, I'm like, you could bottle that and market it. So if Gaston is still on, I need to connect with him because there are 2 products that I want to bottle, and I know he did his barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah,
There's
which is
two products from my food truck that I still want to put in a bottle and sell. So
yeah, his barbecue sauce is so delicious.
Everything he cooks. I love looking at his pictures from his events because my mouth is salivating now, even thinking about it, actually.
Yeah. Some pretty dishes. Very
Yeah,
because we eat it with our eyes first, right? So,
definitely eat with your eyes first. My dad
Mhm.
used to always say that. You always eat with your eyes first.
yeah.
And then he tried to eat me things that didn't look good, but ended up being delicious. Like I can still remember the first time I had escargot, and I was like, "Really? You want me to eat this snail?" And now it's like, "Can we have more escargot? Is there a place we can get escargot?" I'm going to go do this week, and I've decided I'm doing a feast for him this week, so that since he didn't have anybody to cook Thanksgiving dinner for him, so I'm making his favorite stuffing. And I thought I'd go to the store. I know where I can get escargot, and I thought I'd make some escargot for him. And
Oh, nice. I can't even imagine trying to attempt to make escargot.
can you boil shrimp?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's not that much hard. It's
Oh,
not.
wow. Interesting. But it still might not be something I would rather somebody else just cook it for me. I'll go to a restaurant.
You'll eat it. You just don't want to have to figure out how to cook it.
Yeah. Oh, I meant to ask this with my Leadership Tampa Bay class, our cohort, we had ports and transportation day and went to the port. And I wanted to ask, where is the secret spot at the port where you can get fish right off the boat? Does anybody know? Because one of my former colleagues at MacDill Air Force Base, they were really big in seafood boils. And he and his wife were always like, "Oh, we just get down to the port and get it." But I don't know where that is.
I don't know where it is, but I know that there is a sign that where you can get shrimp. And I think that's about the same area, and it's off of 41, I think.
Mhm.
And it's just if you're coming from the north, it's on the right hand side just after you cross the McKay Bridge. I think it's the McKay Bridge.
Mhm.
And if you're coming north, it's just before then, it's on the left hand side. That is my favorite bridge in all of Hillsborough County, because as you come up over the bridge, you can see the cruise ships parked in the port. And of course,
Mhm.
everybody knows Rosie and her cruise ships. So I love that spot, but there's a sign there where you can get fresh shrimp. And I think that's the same place. I don't know exactly. I just know that that's where you see the sign when you're driving south on 41.
I have to figure it out because we love us some shrimp. I love shrimp. All right. So other than applications and our workshop tomorrow night, what else is going on in December for Action Zone? That's it.
I'd like to tell you, but after we met last week, I
Mhm.
left my book in the car and I still haven't brought it into the house.
Yeah.
I was so disconnected. Right. I mean, I really worked right up until like 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. But then it was like everything got turned off. I checked in on to see what was happening with family and friends. My phone was not turned off until Friday or Saturday, but it was just total disconnection. So I will have to look and see, and if there's anything pressing. But the most pressing is get your applications in for Activate and for Incubate.
Yes.
Both start. The Incubate is a virtual class, so you can be anywhere to participate, anywhere in Florida to participate. And Activate is in person, and we meet on Saturdays from 9 to 1 at the ECC in Ybor, and it's always a good time. Well, we meet at ECC and at WeWork in Tampa, so we're just in the Tampa area is fine.
And I will actually be at the ECC on Friday. So if anybody needs an appointment to talk through their idea, set up a strategy for next year, whatever you need. I have a lunchtime meeting, but other than that, I'll be around. So
awesome.
Valerie at actionzonetampa.com.
Well, it was wonderful to see you, my friend. I'm glad you had safe travels to and from and had a good holiday.
Yeah, it was good. Same to you. I'm glad you were able to feed so many people, make their bellies happy.
And me happy in the process. Have a good week, everybody. We'll put links in the chat. And, what are you doing to get ready for 2023? That's the question. And Valerie gave you an assignment to listen to the podcast, and we'll let you know when we can have Mike Stedman and Dean Bunshu on to kind of walk you through how to get ready for 2023.
Yeah, I'll do that. And now what I'm doing to prepare for 2023, I'm going to go do my ISI workout right now.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm going to go fill out my mission map for what I plan to do for 2023.
All right. Well, we'll see you later. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.